West Michigan. This is Tap In Podcast with Pamela Keim from Grand Tap Media and Stephanie Kolakowski from Grow Business Today. The spirit of the show is to introduce people to the business leaders and people that can help us thrive in our business and our homes and our lives in West Michigan. So I want Stephanie to introduce our guest for today. So Stephanie, I'm going to hand it right over to you.
Hi, Pam. Great to see you again. I'm so excited for today's guest, especially around the holiday season, to tap into Mr. Randy Zimmerman, who is the general manager at Tanger Factory Outlets right here in the greater Grand Rapids area. So welcome to the show, Randy.
Hey, thank you. Thanks very much for the invitation. I'm happy to join you guys today.
Oh, it's the perfect time to have you here for this holiday season. We're just kind of, both Stephanie and I were talking this morning, we're really curious of what's going on at the, in the outlet malls, especially with this season and people buying online, and what you guys are doing to pivot during this COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a different year in 2020, and obviously we've had no playbook for everything that's happened. So we kind of had to pivot, like you said. And, I guess the definition of pivot is when something's in your way, you change direction, right?
Well, share a little bit. You've been, how long the mall has been, the outlet mall has been there in Byron Center, correct? And
yes.
And what your role is there as the general manager.
Sure, absolutely. Well, my role here is kind of to be the CEO of the center, if you will, and everything that happens here, it kind of rests on our shoulders. So, we've really taken a really proactive approach with everything this year. We've made kind of 3 different ways for our shoppers to visit us. Obviously, you can come in store, and we've made as safe as environment as we possibly can with all the circumstances that we're dealing with. Plus, we've got curbside pickup. A lot of our retailers are participating in that. And then we've got a really unique thing that we launched this year called our virtual shopper, where you can let us do the shopping for you. You go on to tangeroutlet.com, you click on the virtual shopper, you tell us a little bit about what you're looking for. We contact you, and if it's one item, we go and retrieve it for you and get it shipped to you or have you pick it up, or we'll even shop for you. If there's something in particular that you're not sure about, one of our personal shoppers will go out, FaceTime with you, look at stuff in the stores, and make sure you're taken care of.
Do you ship it out?
I love that idea. So especially in midst of people who are scared to go outside, I put on my mask and go, but I do have some friends and family and associates that are really adamant about Zooming whenever possible and staying in. I love that idea. Have people utilize that? What have you seen in terms of usage for that feature?
Yes, we have. It's been highly used, not just for one-off purchases, but we've actually had a number of people that weren't exactly sure what they were looking for, so they contacted us, and we went into stores for them, showed them items on their phones, and we're able to make things work for them.
That's great.
How are you
are
connecting
you familiar
to
with Trunk Club?
Pardon?
Have you heard of Trunk Club? So Trunk Club is based out of Chicago, and it's a clothing personal shopper in Chicago who my husband used to use, actually. And it's really interesting because you go in and you give, what your preferences are, what types of materials you like. And then there was some type of nodulistic, this is the person that knows me and is shopping for me, and I'm saving time, I'm saving resources. And then they would ship it right to your house. I think that is such a great idea, what you're doing, even post-COVID, for the busy professional, and a way to really market that new business development stream. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, we'll either ship it to you, or you can stop and pick it up. We actually have a curbside right next to Shopper Services that you can just drive up. You text us, we bring it to your car.
That's amazing.
I think it would be kind of cool too to have the price range you're looking for. How us women, we're always trying to look for the sale, the perfect outfit that's going to fit the right size. And when you have that information, and maybe in the future, and all of a sudden, I get a text and said, Pamela, we got this great, I'm really into pencil skirts. We got this great, beautiful pencil skirt that's your size. It's only, it's on sale for this much. How would you like it? And they send me a little picture of it. and I'm gonna look at it. I mean, it'd be just like people putting Facebook ads in front of you and saying, I love it. And yet you guys are local, so if it doesn't fit, me and Stephanie have just experienced ordering online, feeling it's going to be a great product, not through you guys, but through other entities, and we got the product, and right, Steph?
Pam, that's such a really good point. Oh my gosh, because Randy, local trust is key, right? How do we
absolutely.
Yes, so I love that you've taken something that's been a national play and you've localized it, because we know where you are, we know you, we can trust you, we can trust your staff. So there's not that fear. Oh my gosh, Randy, it was a nightmare. You got me all fired up one day on the podcast, episode 2, I think it was, because she's like, I'm finding all these deals online, and she always looks so cute with their little hats and everything all put together. So I'm like, I gotta go find some Pam clothes. So I went on, and I'm like, I did not go to the same place that Pam goes to, obviously, because when I got it, it was from China, and the material was not what it looked like in the picture. And then, of course, trying to return it is a nightmare.
Really?
And if you get to do that, which I didn't get to do, so it's $200 down the drain, you know, and it's like,
too much hassle,
you know.
And I was saying to Stephanie here, I got some clothes that were supposed to be my size, so I even upped it so I could get it fitted. And I got it out of the bag, and it was like this wide. I said to my husband, what am I going to do with this? And I just went through, I mean, this is the experience I had this year because of the Facebook ads and people putting on, you know, these products that have been sitting in these warehouses for this holiday season. You know that they're trying to get rid of. And the models look fabulous in them, and you get the material. But if I would have felt the material, if I would have, you know, tried it on, I would have been, you know, I would have been safe to get what I wanted. But I opened up the bag. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this? It's so much of a hassle. It's not like it's in Byron Center. I could drive in my car and say, hey, we need to switch this up. I have no idea what the return policy, even Stephanie doesn't even know what she's going to do with all her stuff, right? No.
No, I know.
So it was a waste of money. How are people how are you connecting to people in the public? Are you putting ads out there? I mean, Stephanie being a marketer, what are you doing to get the community engaged with your outlet mall?
You know, that's a really, really, really great question. I think, you know, the world has evolved and everybody's journey starts digitally now.
Right.
So many people, whether they're just browsing, whether they're window shopping, a lot of the shopper's journey starts on their mobile device, whether it's their phone or their iPad or their laptop. So we've tried to marry that digital experience at the very beginning, you know, to bring the shopper out to the center and then giving them the choice. You know, do you want to come out physically or do you want to connect with us digitally? And we try to make it as seamless as possible, because that's the key. And the whole thing is making it easy, making it seamless, making it quick. But I like what you said earlier. You know, we've tried to earn the trust of our shoppers, and they know where we are. They know we're here in Byron Center. We're not a bot. You know, we're real people.
Right. Well, all our neighbors are working there. Our kids are working there, and you know, we do trust our local stores.
Yeah, that's important, and if you don't have that, you're in a lot of trouble. So that's why we place a very, very high value on making sure that we take care of all of our shoppers.
How did you guys? Let's talk about the COVID. You know, when they shut things down and you guys had to reopen, and being an outlet mall, you're not dealing with people being inside. So how is that benefiting you on this? You know, through this whole situation?
Sure. You know, it is a great benefit to us being an outdoor center because, like you said, we're not a mall, so you're not going in an enclosed space and then going in another enclosed space into the store. You know, the shutdown definitely back in the spring was total. So you know, we never really shut down because we still had people around, and we were doing everything to support our retailers. But we definitely have had to rethink things. You know, the social distancing, the masks, the hand sanitizers. You know, trying to do everything we can do to make that shopper's journey. You know, make them feel safe. You know, to come out.
So you did have a lot of traffic, people coming, especially back to school. if they're going back to school, whatever that looks like. I mean, have you been even impacted on that with women not going back into the office? Like I said, Stephanie's, her appearance is kind of casual today. A good example.
I'm usually a little bit more formal.
Yeah,
my meeting outside of the office today, he wears jeans and a polo, so I felt like I was cool.
But I've talked to other people who are saying the same thing. I mean, where is all of that business going to go where women aren't needing like I do. I dress up because I'm on TV, and I do a lot more with Stephanie. We out in the public, but people are working virtual now, so they can kind of be cozy. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, definitely. It's a very, very, very different atmosphere, but we can take care of everything anybody wants to do as far as whatever their circumstance is. If it's like you need to be a professional all the time. You're dressed up. We have people that are casual.
Right.
We've got just about something for everybody.
So what stores have been, has everybody been able to stay open? Has there been stores that have transitioned out, new stores come in? Share us a little bit. I've not been there recently, but I should have went through the Christmas season. I probably will after. Do you know what I'm saying? With everything that's happened, what's going on?
We've had a few hiccups with stores, of course, when they get to the, if they have a positive case, or if they have, some issues within the stores that have been closed for periods of time. We've been fortunate in the fact that we haven't lost that much as far as retailers are concerned. We've actually, gained a few stores as well. And, we kind of hang our hat on a couple of categories that are very strong for us. The athletic apparel category is very good with Nike and Under Armour and Adidas. But we also have, the great accessories category too, with Michael Kors, with Kate Spade, with Vera Bradley. Brought in Tory Burch this summer. We've got, we try to take care of everybody as best we can.
I have a question for you. And I think I'm interested in your perspective, because we know retail is not dead, but innovation is needed. And we've seen in the last couple of years in the mergers and acquisition space, some interesting things happening, especially out on the West Coast. And I know that your experience, before we get there, you were the general manager, correct, at Rivertown?
Correct.
Right, and then you came to Tanger. And so although retail space, how did you kind of like evolve and grow to say with your team and take feedback to say, okay, this is different. I was in Rivertown a couple of weeks ago and I felt horrible. I mean, it is dead. Like there is no life, and it makes me very sad. And you see a lot of the stores aren't even opening, and they had made such an intentional effort to bring in local retailers.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, and what are some things that you can share with us that are different and some areas of opportunity in both capacities?
Well, I echo your sentiments with Rivertown. I'm not associated with them anymore, but I still have a lot of relationships there with retailers, and with the team that's there now was the team that was there when I was there. So yeah, it makes me sad a little bit to walk through that. But we all have to evolve, and this isn't something that anybody foresaw, as a happening, and so we have to kind of move on. Pop-up retail is going to be important, looking for those new retailers of the future. There's also a lot of online retailers that are coming into a brick and mortar experience to take advantage of both channels. So you just have to be nimble. Like you mentioned earlier, you have to pivot. You have to know, keep your eyes open for those, up and comers that are out there, and find them.
What are some things that you're watching and that you're interested, intrigued, and part of your strategy plan for next, if you can share?
Sure.
I love innovation. So like and I love reading in the trades about different sectors, and retail's been popping up a lot lately. So
we're looking at some experienced retailers, some entertainment things. We really like the X Golf concept.
Yeah.
We like some of the newer retailers that have niches, whether it's a home, specialized home apparel person, whether it's a specialized athletic apparel person. Really, we don't have a preconceived notion of what we're exactly targeting. We're just out there looking at everything. I spend a fair amount of time out in the market, looking for that and being open, talking to people and putting things out on LinkedIn and on social media, to try to attract those folks and say, hey, you know what? We're a great center. We've got great traffic. We don't have all the mall extracurricular activity, to deal with here. And so come on, give us a try.
Yeah, I do love the organization and the parking out there. I will say it's nice to be able to find a spot and be able to walk in it, not too far of a distance. And the lighting is wonderful as a mom, when I'm out there.
So Randy, so what is your, I've been reading on what you guys do. So your community engagement. So what are you looking at in 2021 of how you guys are going to, be part of the community?
Sure. We've always placed a really high value on being part of the community. A lot of our team members are involved in the community, whether it's Rotary or whether it's Chamber, the schools. I kind of like to be involved in the schools. I'm involved with the Kent Career Tech Center in the marketing area.
Okay.
We also, try to be involved with the Red Cross. We've done blood drives here on the area. We do our pink program every year, which is near and dear to Mr. Tanger's heart, where we raise money for breast cancer research and then also breast cancer locally. The last couple of years, we've partnered with Gilda's Club and to their facility there. We've volunteered at the dinners over at the center there, made dinners for people. A lot of our retailers are involved in that. We try to be out there and so people, keep that trust, with us too, that we're not just here to take their money, we're here to be part of the community.
And you just posted something on LinkedIn today, or was it yesterday, that retailers or malls are not going away. And, share a little bit about, because people think they are, with everything going online. So can you share a little bit why you think they're here to stay here right now?
That's a word that gets used in the media a lot, isn't it? Everybody shopping online.
Yes.
Well, and you guys mentioned this point a little while ago about liking to touch and feel and see and try on, right? You can't do that online, at least not yet. Somebody has to figure that part out. But it's a good, we feel like there's always going to be the channel for brick and mortar to be a part of it, whether, as a part of online. Online shopping is still, it's growing definitely, but it's still a small percentage of what really, people like to do when they get out and shop, and they like to touch, they like to feel, they like to try on, they like the experience. So, I think brick and mortar will always be here. It's just a matter of, you have to remain relevant, and you have to do a great job. You have to look good. And you have to take care of your shoppers. And if you do those things, then it's always going to be here.
Yeah, well, that's what I say.
It's crazy because I recall an article, and I can't cite the source in my mind now, but around February of this year, right before COVID really hit, right in March, there was an article about how retailers are loving the strip mall space, right? And people are shifting their thoughts and investments towards more of it and creating more of an experience and inclusive community. So even out, so can you speak a little bit to that? I mean, I don't feel like that's gone. And from what you just shared, I'm excited because I didn't know you did that. First of all, I did not know that you were doing the personal shopping experience, but I think that's a really cool gray mid-ground to explore and develop for sure.
Right, exactly. And you mentioned parking just a minute ago, right? Getting up to, you place a high value on that, getting a good parking spot.
Yes. Yeah, for me, I love it,
Well, we do too. And one of the things that we offer at Tanger is called Tanger Club. And we for our Tanger Club members, we offer a lot of perks. And one of those perks is parking. If you notice that you come out, next time you come out to Shopper Services, and there's 10 spots immediately right in front of shopper services that have little red signs on them that say Tanger Club members only.
That's awesome.
And so we reserve parking spots for you as well. And
so what does that membership look like?
What does that membership look like?
Yeah, please share.
Sure, absolutely. There's a one-time fee. It's $10 for life. You sign up. We give you perks along the way. From time to time, we just send you gift cards. We will offer you better deals than what's out there at the retailer, at the regular shopper level. We give you free parking all the time, right out in front.
Whoa.
Yeah, how did we miss this?
Yeah, really. Where is that?
I mean, you're like the queen of shopping. How did we miss this? I count on you for this information.
Yeah, it's very easy to join, you know, and there's a ton of perks along with it. We will check your bags for you. If you're going to be shopping for several hours and you don't want to lug your packages around, you just drop them at shopper services. And when you're ready to go, you text me and I bring them to your car for you. And there's a spot right up front.
Okay, so, we need to get this word out, sir. Because
really.
this is a big deal.
That's really.
I don't think you even know how big of a deal this is.
It is.
Oh, you just changed my life today.
Thank you. Well, there's one more perk that Grand Rapids has that not all of our centers do. We have this has been a little bit harangued with COVID because of occupancy, but we have a Tanger Club lounge here. So you can check in at shopper services. You can grab a free cup of coffee or bottled water. If you're shopping with your significant other, you can leave him in the lounge to watch sports, and you can go shop. It's a great little lounge. It gets a lot of uses. 2019 alone, we had 56,000 people use our Tanger Club.
Wow! Okay, that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So,
how are you?
Yeah.
Randy, let's talk about. I used to, before they built this, one in Byron Center. I used to go to Howell. Is it Howell? Is that where the other one is? In Michigan?
Yeah, in Michigan, yes.
Yeah. Are you guys communicating how well are they doing? And the other, I used to, all these places, throughout the state. But I know you guys are doing fairly well. Are everybody else kind of in the same kind of situation?
Yeah, Howell's a little bit older center, and it's got a little bit different layout. You kind of walk the whole perimeter of Howell, and the parking's in the center. The last few centers that Tanger's opened over the last 4 or 5 years have been more the racetrack design, where you're parking in one spot and you're walking the center, kind of in a racetrack.
Okay.
Kind of set up that way.
So we all get to work out too, or what? How's that?
Yeah, you can get your workout internally.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just wondering.
You guys, I have question again, marketing hat. I know that I used to work with the ad agency, used to be out of Atlanta for Tanger. I want to say it was out of Atlanta.
Okay.
For the company. Do they give you guys a lot of reign locally when it comes to making decisions, or is there more of a top-down approach? And I don't mean that badly.
Tanger's very field driven. Okay. They let us run our properties.
Good.
So if there's things that we want to do, as long as they make sense and they ultimately, want to do one or two things, advantage to the shopper, advantage to the retailer, then we get to run our own properties. So
right.
All right.
I'm thankful that.
How are we doing on time? Yeah. Okay, so what's new coming up? You said, I know Stephanie was talking about 2021, but for people living in West Michigan, that, what are you doing to attract, and where are you advertising to get those? We talked about a little bit about that.
Yeah, where we're advertising is, again, we're putting a lot of emphasis on digital.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier,
Facebook or what? On what? Facebook? Are people receiving text who are members? What sales are going on, or what?
We use a lot of different channels. Yes, we use social media extensively, Facebook, Instagram. We do a lot of text and email. The one thing, though, when I say that text and email, I don't want you to think that we're going to blow your phone up every 5 minutes.
Right.
We only send you text and email when it has value. If we're just out there shouting out hello, we don't do that all the time. If we send you something it has great value to it, or it's a perk. So when you're signing up for our email and our text, please know we're not there to blow up your phone.
Well, one of my favorite stores, is the Calvin Klein outlet. I love their, and I know exactly what, like Stephanie and I, certain stores like that, I know exactly what size I can wear, and it's true across all of their clothing. So to me, I'd be like getting a text. Would it be an example is they would send me a text and say, look, we've got this on sale, and then you guys used to offer like the coupon book, which is probably now digital, right? And you could use your perks there, save another 5% or 10%. Come on in and get your skirt that you have a history of buying or whatever. I'm not sure how are stores doing that, getting me in the store.
I think a lot of stores are getting more and more sophisticated with what you just said. Hey, I know Pamela's my shopper. I know Pamela likes this, and Pamela's bought this from me before, and so when I contact Pamela, I'm gonna send Pamela what I think Pamela would like, and that's getting more and more sophisticated in every store, and it's even getting better for Tanger too.
Right.
Because we try to custom, your shopping journey to Pamela, and not just throw out there, everything. We need to make sure that it's for you.
Yeah, and I would have definitely, the people that were putting those ads in front of me, like Facebook does, right? They know what I like, they know what I spend time on. And of course, you guys would know my purchasing, what I've purchased. And to me, if you guys would have hit me up and said, look, Calvin Klein's got this deal for this clothes. I mean, and I would have probably said, forget the online stuff. I know true that my size at Calvin Klein, that would have been perfect. I don't know if you guys talk about this in meetings, but that's what I want to be targeted on, what I want and what colors I like. And if I'll see myself in those ads. I'm like, oh, I could wear that. I can wear that.
You're winning at retail when you can connect and have a relationship with your customer on that level. And that's what everybody's trying to do. And that's what Tanger is trying to do as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Steph, you have any following questions? We're going to be wrapping up our interview.
I just want to say thank you for making time for us today. The retail space is definitely something that we're all watching and paying attention to, and we have questions, and we don't want to see people go, and especially local businesses, close their doors. So I feel excited to hear about the innovations of you and your team. I think that one blessing that I am very grateful for amongst COVID is through the innovation, through the adversity, we found new opportunities. And I think anytime we can look at life and we look at business like that, it's a blessing, right? So kudos to you and your team for doing just that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we love having you in, not too far from us. And if you could target us a little, like get with those meetings, definitely, I'd get in my car more often and come out to the outlet mall and pick out some of those products, because nothing worse than going store to store to store to try to find that item you're looking for. And you guys send it to me. I'm like, that'll work, and I'll come or ship it to me.
Good.
All right.
And we always close with one question on our podcast, and it's always a question for everybody listening: is how can we tap into Tanger Outlet? So where can we go to tap in?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for the invitation for that. TangerOutlet.com. There's everything there that you'll ever want to know about Tanger. Talking about, the virtual shopper, that's where you're going to go to connect with virtual shopper. And there's always a deal there. Always a deal.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, that's why you guys are the outlet mall. It's like,
we love the deals, Randy. You're speaking our language. I know $10 is well worth the investment for that frontline parking there, too. Everybody needs to go on and get that.
And one more thing I'll leave you with, and this is a saying that Steve Tanger has lived with the whole time he's been with the business is, in bad times, people need a bargain, and in good times, people love a bargain.
I like that, right?
I like that.
I love it too. Nothing like that.
All right. You have a good rest of your day. Congrats on everything, Randy.
Yep,
Thank
Randy,
you very
we'll
much, and thanks for having me today.